This is the As Yet Unnamed podcast with Ian Barstow, Damien Lee, and Darren Antrobus.
Right, can you all do a 3, 2, 1 clap so I can get a decent time? Because Marion at Oxford.
We're going to...
Oh, hello, Darren. I can't hear you now. Darren?
You told me to clap.
Yeah, I couldn't hear you clap. There you go, in front of the microphone, not behind it. Right, 3, 2, 1. Right, 3, 2, 1.
Where's your clap?
Yeah, see, I couldn't hear you then. Okay, don't worry, forget it. I've done my clap, it's fine. Right, are we ready, everybody?
Yeah.
Cool. Starting.
3 men close to a midlife crisis. 3 microphones. 1 Zoom call. All lead to this. It's the As Yet Unnamed podcast.
Hello, welcome to the As Yet Unnamed podcast. Extra episode number 4. I am Ian Barstow. Thank you very much for downloading this episode of the podcast. I am joined as ever by Mr. Damien Lee. Hello.
Good afternoon, good morning. How are you?
Good, thank you. And Darren Winter. I always say Winter. Darren Antrobus. Hello.
That's it. That's the right time. Good morning, good evening, good night. If I don't see you tomorrow, I'll see you through winter.
Nice. So, thank you very much for downloading this episode of the podcast. If this is your first time, welcome along for the next 60 minutes or so of chat, talk, fun, laughter, all of that sort of stuff. If you want to get in contact with us, you can do at As Yet Unnamed Pod on Twitter, at As Yet Unnamed Pod. If you follow the information and the link in the show notes to this episode on YouTube or on the podcast app you're listening to, you can leave us a voice message on the Anchor website and we will play them back out over air. And if you're listening on YouTube, why not click on subscribe, like, comment and share, and that would be great. Thank you. I'm doing the introduction, Dan. Stop putting your hand up. Don't start already. Oh, anyway. Professionalism, please.
Oh, do you know what? We never used to be like this. We used to go for walks. Just you and I, and we used to talk about life, and we used to talk about radio and wrestling. You become very, very angry. You become a very angry man.
Do you know why? Because I'm trying to do a professional introduction to this podcast, and you're all waving around like banshees, and you're waving your hands, and you're distracting me. So we can all wait a second.
I feel like I've got to go on the door.
Shh. Go on, Bennett. I've got this new fader thing, and I'm going to use it.
Have you noticed? He looks very. What's the word I'm looking for? I think I get quite excited when he gets a bit angry like that. Because let's be honest, he's the least manly man I know, and when he gets a bit angry,
Coming from you, Damien, that is saying something.
Whoa! What do you mean? I used to box for a living.
I used to do Thai boxing, so, you know, if you want to have a fight.
I used to do mine in a warehouse.
Yeah.
It was boxing. Did you see what I did?
Yeah.
It was like a box.
That's where you'd be going. That's where you'd be going in a couple of years'
very
time,
good.
no doubt.
Right.
I'm all right. Ian, I've waited till now to do this, but Ian, I've got a question for you.
Go on.
From somebody this morning that listened to this week's podcast.
Okay. Who listened?
Yeah. A guy called Mark Chadwick, who is actually a friend of mine anyway.
Does he work on your radio station?
No, he doesn't.
Oh,
No.
okay, right, okay.
There's only 2 of us there because of furlough. So the question is regarding Star Wars. He clearly works out that you are a massive, Star Trek, sorry. You're a huge Trekkie.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And he wants to know, are you that much of a fan that you would dress up
No.
in the gear?
No.
Go to conventions?
No.
Okay.
If it was a
There you go,
Spider-Man
Mark.
outfit, then, you know.
There you go, Mark Chadwick. There's your answer.
Yeah.
And thank you for liking, sharing and listening.
Yes.
What about if we all went together?
Maybe. Do you know, it's not cosplay, but drag. I've always wanted to try a little bit of drag.
Me too, actually. We were talking about this.
Do you remember Stefan Besant? I don't know if that name from Radio
Yes,
Pulse.
I do,
Yeah,
yes.
he's been on the podcast. He's coming up on the podcast in a couple of weeks' time for his interview. Really nice guy. Does acting, has his own theatre company. Every Tuesday evening, he is doing an online pub quiz where he is dressing as a drag artist, and he's brilliant at it.
I mean, just to throw it out there, nice legs.
I've not seen his legs because he's just waist up. He's naked down below, I believe. He's not. If you're listening of him, he's definitely not. But yeah, he's always wanted to do. I've always wanted to just try and do a bit of drag, but I've never.
No. Well,
you've got to be very, very funny, and sadly, Ian, you're not there yet with that.
Whoa.
You've got to be. I reckon Damien could be.
I can be cutting. I can tell you, don't you?
There's a difference between being nasty and being funny with it, and you're not.
Oh no! Have you ever been into a gay bar, Darren?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Have you ever seen a proper, decent drag queen? They are the cruelest, nastiest, funniest people because you can just get away with it. There's nothing beats a drag queen.
We go to Pride every year, so it's been ever since since I was about 20, so last week, and they are vicious. One of my good friends, Marty. Hi, Marty, who's from the scene. Hey, but I tell you what, if you heckle or you do anything, you're out of there, Darren. You would not last. I'll tell you.
Okay. Would I be brought to tears?
I think you probably would, because they are big. And some of the stuff on this show is borderline.
What's the matter with you?
It's all right. Right. Coming up on the show today, we are going to be talking the news, and we're also going to be talking in part 2, our top 5 children's TV shows of all time. Damien is very excited about this. Darren is quite excited, and I'm quite excited as well. So we will do that on the second half of the show. Our top 5 lists are very random most of the time. But we are going to start with the news of the week, of the past 7 days or so. And I am going to start with news of which affected millions of people and affected someone that's on this podcast at the moment. And that was the fact that on Saturday night, quarantine was put back in place for anybody returning from Spain, the Balearic Islands, and the other bit that they were Canary Islands, thank you. That they were, if people were coming back off holiday, they would basically have to quarantine for 14 days due to the apparent rise in cases of COVID in Spain at the moment. I can understand why they've done it. I can understand the thought behind it. It's to try and stop us coming back on and getting another peak of coronavirus and going back into lockdown and all this sort of stuff. So there's going to be a lot more of this. It was very last minute. And I know, Darren, you were particularly affected because you were meant to be flying out to where? On Thursday, was it?
Yeah, I was meant to be flying out on the Tuesday. So 3 or 4 days later after they made the announcement, to the Balearics, to Mallorca. Yeah, and would you like the story of how we got around to going to Mallorca in the middle of a pandemic or tried to book?
Yeah, go on.
Sorry, we did this last week, and I need to go there again. Try to what?
What did he say? I didn't hear that. What did he say?
No, because I'm not having this.
Oh, book.
Book. Try to book.
Try to book. Try to book.
I didn't hear what he said. Say the word. What was the word again? For the second week running,
oh dear,
you claim to be English and you speak the Queen's. Tell me what that word was that you just mouthed with your little hairy mouth. Tell me what it was. Come on.
Oh dear.
Tell me what you did.
We tried to book.
How did we get on here? Do you know what we should do? Anyone coming on this show, we give them an elocution lesson.
That is a...
Actually, can I ask? Just
That's a Stoke-on-Trent thing. That is a Stoke-on-Trent thing because everything is ooh.
Ooh, it is ooh, book.
It is.
Book,
yeah,
kook.
it is, yeah.
Damien.
Yeah.
And you're a Redditch person. You are. Well, I am as well, pretty much.
Yeah.
So if I was to say to you tooth, or so tooth, would you say tuss?
Mm-hmm. I would.
Yeah.
I would. Yeah.
See, now you can't take the mickey out of Darren. Because tuss.
Hold on.
No, tuss. Honestly, when I moved up to Burton and I went, oh, my tooth's hurting, my partner went, your what? Your tooth. But we go tooth because it's a Redditch thing.
Well, I get you, Petal. We don't turn round our neck doesn't go back like a dinosaur, and we don't go do it, because he sounds like he's having a fit when he says "Ew," and now I'm going to have a. You sound like some knackers.
Anyway, Darren.
Right.
So you were we'll skip it. You booked this holiday.
So we booked this holiday at Christmas. Every Christmas we book a holiday for the following summer. School holidays. My partner, my other half, is a school teacher, so we have to go in the big August school holidays. So that's our kind of Christmas present to each other. So we book onto this holiday, and so we did it in December as usual, not knowing that in three and a half months' time, all hell would have broken loose with a virus that would stop us going anywhere. So we left. We didn't cancel that original holiday, and then we did at the last minute. So we did in May, when we thought, just write the year off, let's cancel it. And then in June, there's all this talk about opening air bridges. When all that news was coming out, and Boris Johnson is saying, we're going to safe travel corridors, you can have your holiday abroad, the rates are going down, we're winning the fight with coronavirus. So we thought, oh, okay, let's book another one then. And we looked online, and we thought, look how cheap they are this year. So we booked another one for half the price. It was great. So
for the love of God, man, when you're on the show, just pretend.
Oh, I can't go through this again. I can't do another week of this.
Just pretend. All right?
Right.
It's not hook. It's not hook.
Yes.
It's not hool.
Oh, dear. Right, come on, carry on. I can't do another week of this.
So we bought another holiday, right?
Thanks.
Yes.
God bless the Queen.
So we bought this other holiday, and then obviously last week we heard rumours. I thought, no, they won't do that. They've only just opened the air bridges. They're not going to close them down again. Saturday happened. So then on Sunday I was on the phone to our chosen tour operator for 3 hours in a queue to try and work out what we're going to be doing. As it turns out, there's an ending to the story. So we've moved the holiday to next August, so COVID can come again, do what it wants, go away. It's not going to be here in 12 months. Please.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So where are you now going on holiday, Darren?
We are now going to the Isle of Wight. Incidentally, I booked the ferry for the Isle of Wight to go from Southampton to Cowes in the Isle of Wight, and I booked it the opposite way around, so my journey starts in Cowes instead of Southampton. So
are you definitely going away? Are you definitely going on holiday for a few days?
Yes.
Well, that's all right that Captain's jumped in there.
We're having three or four days away.
You can stop flapping your gums a minute. Let's just go back a minute. Where the Rudy Poo is howls or cows?
Cows.
Northern tip of the Isle of Man.
He knows where it is. Yeah. Just because you sit there on your little stool in Redditch.
Whoa, come on.
Right.
Next bit of news then, shall we? Yes. Damien, we'll come to you next, please.
Mine is quite a nice one. Okay, so I'm going to ask Darren because he looks like a big bear in awe. So for you, Dazzler, what's your favourite animal?
What's my favourite animal?
Yeah, just interested.
Right, okay, so...
It's a show, Darren. We haven't got that long. We've got a budget. Just answer, man.
Right, okay, my favourite animal is going to be a border collie dog.
Okay, I agree with that. I love border collies.
I love border collies. Oh, the long-haired ones. Oh,
you're annoying me tonight, Barstow. So we're saying your favourite animal in the world, and you've both gone for a
well, mine would be a dog. My favourite animal would be a dog, easily. Okay.
What's yours then, Damien? Was it a badger?
Was it a what?
A badger.
They're vicious, you know, apparently.
I know what your favourite animal is.
Go on.
Cockatoo.
Sooty.
No, definitely not a cockatoo. Right, so this is what's the matter with you?
Open up. Lead the person in.
Sooty pervert.
Sooty.
No.
Cuddly bear with his hand up its open.
I tell you what. Why don't you go and have some Kiora? Because you're very excitable tonight. You are. You've had a lot of A numbers. and you're really bouncing off the walls. So before you come on the show next time, have a shower.
Okay.
Damien, go on. What was your favourite animal?
Yes.
Right, this is a really nice story. So basically, this was in the news the other day. Tigers are on the rise. So basically, figures
Against humans?
Not the wrestling.
Planet of the Apes style. Are they going to take over the world?
No. But there was only 3,200 tigers in the wild. That's it in the whole world. That's it. But their numbers are going up in 5 countries: India, China, Russia. Since COVID, these animals, just in India alone, they've gone from anything between 2,600 and 3,350. So that's plus the 3,200 that are already there. So just by that, we've already got 6,000 odd tigers.
Can I just jump in there, Damo? I agree with you there. The big cats are majestic, fascinating. I could watch an actual lion or a tiger just for hours.
They're beautiful. And the reason I bring on to this
is it through an owl at a zoo?
Why did he have to do that?
Do you know what? Me and you had a moment there. For one moment, went to a beautiful place. And do you know what, Darren? Only in that place, me and you were there. There was hairy men. There was spiky guys. It was just me. And
you are obsessed.
There was even a hint of Carol Baskin.
There was. And him over there with his chopsiness, and he needs an early night tonight because he will be going to bed early.
He reminds me of the Tiger King.
So anyway, my story is tigers are on the rise. They're coming back. Happy days. Love for the tiger. Or tiara. Was it tiagra? Can't remember. See you later. I'll mention that later.
Do I need to... Oh, I know what one of your TV shows now is.
No, because I do as well. Out based on that.
Okay, right, okay. So do I need to cancel my order for the lion rug throw made of lion skin? Do I need to cancel that?
You can't buy one of those.
eBay, you get anything on there. Oh, no, it's Amazon Prime, actually. Amazon Prime, yeah. No? Okay, right, fine, fair enough. Darren, over to you for your news, please.
Cycling rant. Boris Johnson, what's he playing at lately? This is bang out of order. Listen, right? I respect the guy. He's got a lot on his shoulders. I understand what he's trying to get at. He's not having a go at the people who are overweight. Hello, me included. But what he's got to remember,
all three of us,
before he goes on the news and in the press and start going on, just lose £5. Just help yourself out a little bit. Give yourself a fighting chance if you were to get COVID or anything else attached to being overweight. What he's got to remember is there's people, and I'm going to say me specifically here, I would class it as a miserable existence, right? Because I can't just go, I'm going to have that chocolate bar. I'm going to have that packet of crisps because I want it and I'm hungry. Every single day, I'm checking this. How many calories have I burnt off? Then I'm on my app. How many are going in? I'm still trying to get the weight down. And I've done it for years. Since I've known Mr. Barstow, our captain, when we were at Pulse, how many times were I at the gym and I was watching what I was eating, trying to get the weight down?
Yeah. Difficult.
Yeah, it is.
And how many years ago is that now?
About 15. And it's more difficult. The older you get, the harder it is for you to lose weight.
So very much so.
I didn't appreciate our leader going, let's just get your weight down.
Yeah.
I do it every day.
The problem is there's many, and I've done a certain diet where you do it and you get results basically in kind of a month or so, but you have to shock your system into these kind of ketosis kind of, and your breast smells and all of that stuff. And don't get me wrong, they are great at the beginning. My problem is the consistency after, because you lose all this weight, and I did pretty well last year, lost a chunk of weight. And then once it's gone, you eat that first burger again, and you're like...
See, the simplest thing, the thing I always think with weight loss is basically you have to burn more calories than you consume. And it isn't... So I have done the... fairly recent, I did the 5-2 diet, which is where you fast for 2 days a week and eat normal for 5 days a week. It's really difficult. The fasting bit is really hard.
Let's not confuse the whole matter of weight loss. So you've got the Cambridge diet, you've got the... Do you remember the Atkins that was knocking about a few years back?
Remember that? Yeah.
Yeah, you've got loads of different fad diets.
Well, Cambridge is the one that I tried. And
Cambridge. You've got Slimming World, Weight Watchers, you've got intermittent fasting, you've got the bodybuilder's diet where it's zero carb and high protein and whatever. What do all of those have in common with the with the basic physics of how a human body works? Whatever diet you do, you are ultimately going to be eating less than you were before you started the diet. So this is the personal trainer that I spoke to, who's given me... I gave him a challenge to give me in 60 seconds what are the tips that we can do that you might not... So with the cycling thing, Boris Johnson said, swap your 4 wheels for 2. You're going to have a voucher to get your bike back on the road and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. What about if you're not fit for a bike, if you're not built for a bike? I'm not built for a bike, you know?
Oh, bless you.
No chance. So...
Don't be hard on yourself.
So Lee Hand, who is a personal trainer, an online personal trainer as well, has given us a little snippet of 60 seconds of top tips that we can do other than riding a bike. So before you start, let me put 60 seconds on the clock. Hang on a minute. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so first thing you need to do, in my opinion, is plan. Just sit down, think about what it is you want to achieve, how you're going to achieve that, the best way for you to achieve it. In other words, like Darren's already said, you're not built for going on a bike. Don't go to Halford and buy a bike. That doesn't make any sense. Utilise what's at your fingertips. So if you've got a smartwatch or a smartphone, then increase the number of steps you do. You can get out and do a little bit more walking. Just utilise what's around you. If you live in a house of stairs, walk up and down the stairs a few more times in a day. Just put a little bit of increase in your exercise and activity levels, and that's going to actually help you get fitter. Also, look at energy in the body. The old adage, if you're going to put more petrol in the car than you're going to use, and it's going to store it and hold on to it, the same, applies for us. So just have a little look at what you're putting in your mouth, what you're drinking.
Oh, there we go. There's your 60 seconds, Lee.
Thank you very much to Lee Hand, personal trainer, for that 60-second guide. Didn't quite get it in the 60 seconds, but some useful information in there, particularly about walking upstairs more. That was the news for this week. We're going to be right back. We're going to do a little bit. Dan's got something else I want to play. He sent me an audio clip, which sent me down quite a long line of looking at stuff on YouTube today. So anyway, we'll be right back very shortly.
This is the As Yet Unnamed podcast with Ian Barstow, Damien Lee, and Darren Antrobus.
So, Mr. Darren Antrobus, you sent me a clip today from your radio show, I believe this was it not?
It was, yeah. Not a great day for my newsreader, was it, Ian? Did you hear the clip?
I did hear the clip. Do you want to hear the clip, Damien?
Do you know what? I'm excited.
So we're gonna. I'll preempt this. So this is the sports news broadcast, which I presume is pre-recorded.
It's not the sports news broadcast. It was just the half past of the hour.
Oh, okay, headlines. And it was right. Okay, and I believe this is pre-recorded.
Yes.
Okay, right. Let's play this.
Looking forward to this.
Let's get the latest local news and sport with Matt.
The proposed Christie at Macclesfield Centre has taken another step forward with the appointment of a lead contractor to oversee the construction. Vinci Construction UK has been handed the contract to deliver the new 2-storey building, costing around £26 million. It's due to be finished by the end of 2021. And Macclesfield Town will find out whether their 2-point deduction will stand on the 11th of August. That's the date for the appeal by the Football League. The punishment, together with a £20,000 fine, the punishment, together with a £20,000 fine, was handed to the Silkband back in June. The club say that the appeal means that their preparations are on hold for the new season. For Silk 106.9 News, I'm Matt Soanes.
Right, before anyone says anything else, Darren, I want to know. So that went out at what? 8? Was that 8:30?
7:30.
7:30. So I want to know. You were sat in your studio. You'd just done the 8:30 news, or you were listening to the 8:30 news. What did you think when that went out?
I didn't know. I don't know. I started to come over all warm, thinking, I'm going to come out of this.
Did you speak to him? Did you ask him what was he doing and why didn't he edit it?
Of course, there was an internal scent. Yes. Scent, the
and then, but then, what happened? It went back out again at 8:30.
A worse one.
Was it worse? I thought it was the same one.
Have you not heard the 8:30?
No. Is the 8:31 worse? Oh, hang on a minute then. Right.
You got to listen to it.
Bear with me.
Let's get the second clip on. Seriously. What's flicking him?
There's a bit,
Seriously.
right, Ian, there's a bit in it where you can't come in. You've just got to leave it running.
Right, okay. Bear with me.
All right,
Let me just 8:30. Right, bear with me 1 second. Right, so we've listened to the first one, which is bad enough. So he's now gone away, re-recorded it. This is the 8:30 one.
Great.
A lead contractor has been appointed to oversee the construction of a new two-story building to house the Christie in Macclesfield Cancer Centre. Demolition work on the site has been completed, and Vinci Construction UK has been appointed to deliver the construction of the new £26 million cancer centre. Completion is due to be finished by the end of next year, and the EFL's appeal against Macclefield's 2-point deduction will be held.
Pathetic.
And an appeal against Macclesfield's 2-point deduction will be heard on the 11th of August. The sanction was handed to the Silkmen last month, together with a £20,000 fine. The club released a statement saying that the appeal paralyses the club in its preparations ahead of the new season. For Silk 106.9 News, I'm Matt Soanes.
What? What happened? What happened?
Where did he go?
Do
you know what happened, don't you? Jeremy Beadle came in with his little hand and he went...
How did he not know that was going out? That's amazing.
Get that bit on again, Ian? The bit where he just stops?
No, because I have to play the whole thing again, unfortunately.
Right, okay.
So,
but I mean, bless him. He's obviously. It sounds almost like someone in the show with him. He's putting their hand over his mouth, and just going, "Stop it! Don't say anything else." What's his name?
Let's give the subscribers and listeners to this podcast a little insight into radio, which you two will know. So the newsreader will pre-record maybe 5 minutes, a couple of minutes early, and drop it into like a Dropbox, which goes into your playlist at the right time. So 8 o'clock or 8:30 or whatever it's meant to be there. But what usually happens is, because they're only about a minute long or 30 seconds long, whichever they are, you have plenty of time in that hour to listen to it before you do it.
And it's not very often it will change that much, is it, really?
So, I mean, during his news...
Very good, yeah.
The literating. I mean, God love him.
Has he been there long?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Does he work for me?
No.
Is he on a timesheet? Bless him. Get it in if you are. Monday was cut off. Get the timesheet in.
This sent me down a little rabbit hole. If ever you've done a YouTube rabbit hole or a Facebook video rabbit hole, you know when you watch a video and then the next one comes up and you're just like, I'll watch that one and then I'll watch that one. Yeah. So this sent me one down radio fails, and I've got 4 that I want to play with you. And in my opinion, they get better as they go on, and the last one is brilliant. Just pure gold. So the first one is from BBC Radio Ulster. And this is the cardinal sin in a radio station of not turning your microphone off when the news presenter is talking at the same time. Have a listen.
Prime Minister's chief advisor Dominic Cummings is to make a public statement this afternoon amid growing calls for him to stand down or be fired over claims he broke lockdown rules. About 20 Conservative MPs have publicly criticised Mr Cummings for driving 260 miles from London to relatives in Durham with his young son and his wife after she developed symptoms of coronavirus. Boris Johnson said it was
I was thinking he was such a dick. I have written his name and as Richard Cummings.
The Sun's political editor Tom Newton-Dunn says the decision for Mr Cummings to make a statement.
I love that. I absolutely I love that. She obviously didn't realise her microphone was on. And when she was talking, and he was...
Do you know what though? Didn't she have like real kind of? You can imagine her on this. At the end of the day, I don't know what show with that man down there. Look at him; he's like a living bear. He can't even say whore. What an absolute toll. I mean, she was lethal, she was.
I love
Let's
that.
get her on. What's her name? Let's book her as a guest.
I haven't got her name. So the next one is a perfect example of being very careful when you speak to people, the general public, live on air. So this is Radio 1. This is Hugh Stevens. They're also doing something for their big weekend and festival ticket giveaway. Yeah, he even tells him not to do it.
Okay, I need to tell you this, that you're live on Radio 1. Can I ask you a very important question?
Yeah.
Do you want to go to Glastonbury?
Yeah, I do.
No, don't swear. I have to apologise for the strong language from the park here in the city centre. Did you?
So basically, he said the F word. Do you F yeah? I like that one. So the next one, this is from Key 103.
Make it better than the last, yeah. Come on, listeners.
I used to work there.
Where is Key 103, Darren?
It's the old Piccadilly, so it's Salford Quays.
Okay, so this is Manchester way.
Manchester.
Sorry, that's where my new office is. I'm on the Quays. Salford Quays.
Yeah, we're not advertising you again. I told you last week.
You'll be right near Hits Radio then.
Yeah, unless you're going to pay it. So this is from Key 103, and this was a newsreader, and I think this is very similar to what happened to you this morning, Darren.
Key 103 News. The uncle of an 11-year-old girl.
Let it play what happened after.
Nothing. I love it. I'm going to play that. I'm going to play that again. It's the burp after the cough. I love it. Listen again.
E103 News. The uncle of an 11-year-old girl. The uncle of an 11-year-old girl.
He just carries on. I love that one. Oh,
one more time.
I love that.
E103 News. The uncle of an 11-year-old girl. The uncle.
What he does.
That's brilliant.
But then follows it up.
Yes.
I love that. I absolutely love that. And this is my favourite. I don't know where this is from. I've no idea what radio station. It is more one of those. It's very similar to what we were like last week. She's basically corpses, but it's the story that goes with it. Just listen carefully.
And finally, a hamster spent the Easter break recovering after eating a Spider-Man magnet and becoming stuck to the metal bars of his cage. Smurf, the 4-month-old pet, is thought to have swallowed the foot.
That swallowed a magnet and then got stuck to the cage.
Oh, wow.
That's insane. Did that really happen? What else happened in this story?
It's gone. I can't read the story.
Just to say that the hamster's fine. It's absolutely fine. It just swallowed a magnet and then got stuck to the side of the cage. Going.
Oh, I love it. I just, as soon as I heard that, I have visions of this hamster on a cage like that going, I can't move.
Isn't it the true story, though? We always used to love watching Auntie's Bloomers or on the night. They are the best. The outtakes are always the best bits.
I went down a YouTube hole of watching Friends outtakes, which I found funnier than the actual TV show as well. Oh,
I've not seen the Friends outtakes. Didn't know there weren't any.
Oh, there's loads.
All right.
Just one more time. Just again, do the burp.
Do you want the cough? Hang on.
Do the cough.
E103 News. The uncle of an 11-year-old girl. The uncle of.
Oh my!
It's just amazing. That's it for the first half of the As Yet Unnamed podcast. Coming up in the second half, we will have our top 5 children's programmes of all time.
It works for Clarkson, May and Hammond. We're not quite sure it works for Antrobus, Lee and Barstow. But they're doing it anyway. You're listening to the As Yet Unnamed podcast.
Welcome back to the second half of the As Yet Unnamed podcast. I am Ian Barstow, joined by Damien Lee and Darren Antrobus. In the second half, we are doing top five lists. We've done film, we've done TV shows. We're now doing children's TV shows. We now need to think of a couple of more coming up in the week, and I'm trying to think of top 5 things, and I'm struggling to come up with lists unless any of you have any that you would like. Just a reminder, if you do want to get in contact with us on the podcast, you can at As Yet Unnamed Pod on Twitter. At As Yet Unnamed Pod. Use the links down in the description and the show notes, and you'll be able to leave us a voice message using the Anchor voice message service, and we will play those out on air. If you're listening on a podcast app, click on subscribe. If you're on Apple, please do give us a review. And if you're watching on YouTube, click on the subscribe and notification bar and leave us a comment as well. And you will never miss an episode of the As Yet Unnamed podcast. And why would you ever want to? So, we are doing top 5 top 5 children's TV shows of all time. Right, okay, we are going to start this week with Darren.
Yes.
Okay. Right, okay. And at number 5, it's one that was made by a bit of a puppeteer genius. And for the life of me, I can't remember what the big creatures were that lived in a big house.
Oh.
Yeah. So, okay.
Down at Fraggle Rock.
Yeah. So, quick question for you then.
Grab the Fraggle, buy it.
What were the big creatures named? You know, when he ran down to them and go, Mum, I caught a Fraggle. What were them called? And what was the dog name in the lighthouse?
The dog was called Scrappy.
No.
It was.
It wasn't.
Or Scrappy.
No, it wasn't. Do you know what the dog was named in Fraggle Rock?
Gorgs, the big things were called.
My wife knows.
They were called Gorgs, I think you pronounce it. Gorgs.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
So the little things were dowsers or doozers.
Yeah.
The little workers.
The little green.
Yeah.
What did they used to do? What were they building? Because the
Fraggles used to eat what they were building, wasn't it? Isn't that the thing? Didn't the Fraggles used to eat whatever they were using to make stuff? Yeah, they did. I'm sure they did.
No, they didn't.
They weren't building stuff for them to eat. What sort of program was that?
I'm sure it was.
Like scaffolding they were building inside the cave.
They were building like a tower or something.
Within Fraggle Rock lived a second species of small humanoid called dowsers, standing about 6 inches tall. Dowsers are, in a sense, the opposite of Fraggles. Their lives are dedicated to work and industry, and spend much of their time busily constructing all manner of scaffolding.
Sorry.
I know, I'm down speed.
Do you want me to burp you?
Wind him.
Dozers spend much of their time busily constructing all manner of scaffolding throughout Fraggle Rock, using miniature construction equipment and wearing hard hats and boots.
Yes, they did. I remember.
They use edible candy-like substances, which are greatly enjoyed by Fraggles.
Wow.
So there you go.
I can't remember that bit.
So the dog was named Sprocket.
Sprocket.
It was.
Yes,
Sorry,
that was it.
It was.
Yeah.
Yes.
But who was the main character of the Fraggles? You know, the one that used to do the dance and at the opening credits, you had the little pigtails.
Red.
Yes.
Red. Yeah. So, do you know what, Darren? We've not always agreed on these shows, and a lot of the time you come out with a lot of rubbish. But that, friends, me and you, just for that.
Has that fixed my Grease 2 embarrassment?
No.
Okay.
Buddy, we are going to have a lie-in on Sunday for that, tell you.
Okay.
I agree. I like the theme tune of Fraggle Rock is amazing, and I did watch it. I did watch it on Apple TV.
Sounds a lot like Justin Timberlake's "Can't Stop the Feeling" from the Trolls, incidentally. Same bass line, same rhythm. Yes.
Number 2, Darren, please.
No, number 4.
Sorry, number 4. Sorry,
number 4. Number 4 is he was my first superhero that I wanted to look like, although he was a cartoon. They did make a film which was rubbish in the 1980s.
Can I have a guess?
Go on.
Was he a yellow superhero?
That's the same one I thought of as well.
Yellow?
When Eric had a secret banana.
That's exactly what I thought of.
He turned into
Banana Man.
No, it wasn't.
Was it Super Ted?
They've never
Super
made
Ted.
a film on Banana Man.
Super Ted? Was it Super Ted? Was it Super Ted?
They never made a film. No.
82 something road. Anyway, sorry, go on.
No.
Super Ted.
Go on, Dan. Go on. I don't know which one it is.
And his spotty man.
And he used to have a little red thing that floated around next to him, and I don't know what his name was. Just a little red wizard.
No, Darren, you've gone off on this again.
No,
this is going to be dodgy.
What is it?
I don't know, but this is worrying me. This is where you go weird.
And Battle Cat was a tiger.
Oh, no!
Come on.
Now? No,
Come on.
I've got to change it because it's in my top 5.
I don't... Oh, He-Man. Oh, okay.
I can't believe
Why
you get that from
was He-Man orange? Had he been tanning? Had he gone down the road to Tantastic?
I think he'd been slapped by that bald-headed bloke from the 90s adverts.
I'll have to change mine now because it's in the top 3.
By the power of Grayskull.
I had all the figurines. I had the Castle Grayskull.
Yes.
What was that little red wizard that used to float around?
I'm going to tell you. You ready?
Yeah, go on.
Orkill.
Orkill. Orkill.
I never knew
Remember that?
Never knew that.
Yeah. And can you remember the Battle Cat, but the nasty Battle Cat that was purple? And the toy was always really soft. But I sneezed on it and I had like really congealed bogies on there.
What I never worked out.
Sorry.
What I never worked out was the connection between He-Man and She-Ra. Were they an item? If not, I wanted to swoop in there.
Yeah, and right. So go.
And I wanted to know the relationship between She-Ra and He-Man. Were they an item? Were they brother and sister?
You see, I got a bit worried about this, but it went a bit Brookside because some people are a bit like, well, are they an item? I'm like, no.
What was their relationship then?
A bit incestuous if they were. They were cousins.
They weren't cousins.
They were cousins.
Oh, right.
Talking about not putting stuff in cartoons.
Oh, right, okay. Well,
they were cousins. Let's move on.
Number 3, please, Dan. I'm liking yours so far.
Those are really good.
Number 3 was... Oh, I don't want to tell you because you are going to...
Oh, go on.
Get out of this.
Play School?
It's something I used to watch, but I never told a lot of people that I watched it.
My Little Pony.
It was like me and Damon's Queer as Fate, wasn't it?
But I haven't watched it since I was about 10 or 11 years old. The original Adam West version of Batman.
Oh, no.
That was that on channel? That was a Channel 4 Sunday morning, wasn't it?
It's not even
with the pow and the.
It's just bad.
That's poor.
It is bad,
and that's the only Joker that I remember and I relate to. Really,
no, it's
the
just
version.
It's not even funny bad. It's just bad.
No,
just bad.
No, that wasn't good.
But it had the iconic theme tune to the Batmobile. Let's go.
Batman.
So and it brought it back into my memory again after my daughter mentioned Batman for some reason. I can't remember why she mentioned it now.
We should have said really that this was between CBBC and the ITV.
It's changing the rules halfway through. It was on. To be fair, it was on. It was on when we were children. It was.
You turned over as before Channel 4 News, man.
It was 60s. That was a 60s version of Batman. It was a TV series in the 60s.
Actually, saying that was in your era then, wasn't it? Because you are 50 plus.
So it had 120 episodes from January the 12th, 1966 till 1968, twice weekly.
Wowzers.
Twice weekly.
120 episode in that amount of time. That's a big filming schedule.
That's almost a soap opera.
It is. Wow. No, I don't agree with you on that one. I'm sorry.
Okay, never mind. Number 2 was a very rare one, and I had to describe it to my other half when we first met. So when you meet somebody for the first time and you start dating them, you talk about programs, movies, music, and then you get onto, do you remember watching this when you were growing up? And I couldn't think of the name, but all I remember, I've got the title of it here anyway, but do you remember the title sequence was somebody swirling around a puddle, and the camera would go into the puddle, and then it would be a cartoon story that come out.
Puddle Lane.
That's the one. Puddle Lane. Yeah,
no, I don't know. You've just reminded me of one as well. And if not,
Puddle Lane. No, I know what you're going to say. Now, this is how much I know our little squeaky leader over there, because you reminded him of something then. I don't know where he's going, and it begins with J, doesn't it?
No.
Oh.
What were you thinking? No. See, I was thinking of ha ha this away, ha ha that away, ha ha this away, my oh my.
Tiswas. No, not Tiswas.
No, Whizbit.
Wizardora. No.
Whizbit.
Whizbit
with Paul Daniels.
He was like a triangle.
Yes. Ha, this away. Ha, that away. What were you thinking of, Damien?
I thought you meant Jamie.
Oh, Jamie and his magic torch. No, what was Puddle Lane? I don't know Puddle Lane.
I remember Puddle Lane.
All I can remember is I can't remember if it was a wizard or somebody that was swirling a puddle, and then the camera would go into the puddle, and then a cartoon story would be told on the other side of the puddle. And it was only like a 5-minute program, if that.
So just for the benefit of this show, we've got listeners, and they're listening to this to know. So you've scribbled down something. You didn't know the title of the show. All you can remember about it was a puddle. So you've gone from having a 60s TV show that was on at 5 o'clock now to Puddle Lane, but you didn't know the name until I said it was Puddle Lane.
Right, so...
We're 4 shows in. Do some research.
So we get to number 1, and I couldn't choose from about 4 or 5, and I really struggled to get this.
Oh, they're going to be the same. I think me.
So I went through. Can I name the ones that?
No. Do that after.
I'll do that. Ian, please come back to me. So out of all the ones that I really wanted to make number 1, I've gone for another one.
Give us a clue.
That one of the presenters is an iconic radio host, presenter that I wanted to be like.
I know where you're going with this, and all I'm going to say is, my God, those twins were fit.
No.
Oh, not Pat Sharp.
Not Pat Sharp from the house, no.
It was a Saturday show, wasn't it?
I think, yes, it was, and it was part of TVAM.
You can't.
What?
Because I've met him.
Fans.
And I had a little chat to him the other day on Facebook Live. And you know what? Here's a little thing for both of you.
Can we just say who it is before we go this?
No. Before you do, I am going to get this person on this show.
This is my top 5. I've tried to interview this person, if it's the right person, for years, and he hasn't replied to me.
I'm going to get him on the show.
Has he replied to you?
We've had a chat.
Did he have a big pink hammer?
Yes!
Oh, Timmy Mallet, Wackaday. Yes, if you can get him on this radio show, my God, yes please.
Because I've tried to interview him loads of times. And
I have got to say, he is without a doubt. I was absolutely gutted because back in the day, ITV got, I think the breakfast part of ITV got taken over. So Wackaday, Darren, I'm with you. Every summer holiday, 6 weeks for the part. That was possibly one of the best shows, and one of my shows on my list was within Wackaday.
Because I can't remember the stuff that I used to remember Mallet's Mallet. Remember the game?
Yeah. Can you remember when he had his hammer and he was on the Berlin Wall knocking it down with a hammer?
No, I don't remember that bit.
A good top 5, Darren. A good top 5. Apart from one of them, I'll let you off.
That was one of the best you've done. Batman was in line with Grease. Again, do you know what? On that one, you went very Darren. On this one, you've matured. You've come into a more mature bear, and I enjoyed that. That was a very, very brilliant top 5.
I am going to go next because I want to leave Damien until the end because he's thought of this and he gets very excited about TV shows, children's TV. My top 5, this is going to be a controversial one then, is at number 5 is The Big Breakfast. And my argument for having this, before you all say anything, my argument for having this as Big Breakfast is the fact that it had Zig and Zag on, perfectly aimed at children. It was on in 1992 when I would have been 12, so still a child. And I absolutely loved that show. It was appointment viewing every single morning with Chris Evans and Gabby Roslin, and then Johnny Vaughan and Denise Van Outen.
And Mark Little was very good on there.
Mark Little was very good, and Lisa Talbot was very good as well. But I'm going to argue for that it is a program from my childhood that had bits aimed because it had the Banana Club or whatever it was, which he still plays the music for now. So I'm going to say that is a children's TV show for my use.
Was it classed as a TV program?
No.
A TV program, yes, it was on TV.
Yes,
Darren.
was it billed as a morning show like GMTV or
morning show?
It was, but it was more aimed. It was aimed at the youth.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
It was.
It was on Channel 4, so they did the anarchic, crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
No, listen,
it was.
At the end of last week's show, we made the rules very clear.
We didn't.
It's the top 5 children's programs.
But
that is a children's program for me.
As the only qualified broadcaster on this team, I'm going to reject that.
Thanks, Darren. I agree with you as a former broadcaster myself for a very short amount of time. And also TV career as well.
And I disagree with you as a former station manager, program controller, broadcaster, and award-winning photographer. To you lot.
It wasn't a kids' program.
It was. Anyway, at number 4 is definitely a children's TV program. Started in 1958 was Blue Peter.
I hated that program.
I hate it. What?
It
was so. It's so arty-farty.
It's not arty-farty at all. It was a really good.
John Noakes is going to climb up that statue up there. Ooh,
it was a really good general entertainment program for children, and still is. It's still going strong. It's a very important program.
It's not going strong though, is it? To be honest,
it is. It's about 600,000 people every episode watch it, Damien.
Ian, can I stop you there?
Go on.
Just to save time, here's one I made earlier.
That's a bit burnt on the bottom.
Yeah, you see, for me, the only episode I remember vividly is Tracy Island, and I thought that was amazing. But I always used to flick over to CITV when that was on, because I can imagine in there with his little spectacles on, his little flicked hair with a little briefcase. Mummy!
I don't wear glasses, never have.
So
Mummy,
when
they're talking about global warming on here, it's amazing. I'm just going to sit in my pants.
When Blue Peter was on, I used to look forward to my mum turning over and watching Sons and Daughters. It was great.
Sons and Daughters, blimey, right there. Okay, well, this is a personal choice then.
You're not having a good top 5 so far.
Okay, at number 3, ran from 1978 to 2008, developed by Phil Redmond, him of Brookside and Hollyoaks fame, Grange Hill.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
And do you know why Grange? I remember, so I was Zamo, Roland, what would you say? Roland, like Darren says, Ian. And so I remember watching it when it was him, the head teacher or the form teacher, Mr. the really evil one. What was his name? Anyone remember? No? Okay. And they had that whole thing of Just Say No, the whole drug story line that went into it.
It was good.
And then they started on Sunday mornings on BBC Two. They ran from the very first episode all the way through, and I watched all of them.
I watched it.
It was brilliant. You obviously had Tom Carty.
Yeah, he did.
Who was
Tom Carty?
Tom Carty. Who was
Sue Tully.
Yeah, there was lots of people. I loved Grange Hill, and it was just really good. It was proper drama for me.
What I like about Grange Hill is you can go back and watch the old ones and go, "Oh, he's in. What's it now?" Or he's gone on to. It gave birth to a lot of really good actors that we.
Good choice that was. Good choice because your first two.
Well, the first two were rejected anyway.
No, well they're not.
They're not on it.
At number 2 is. It used to be on Trouble, satellite TV channel, all the time.
Oh, look at you!
And it used to. No, I didn't have Sky. I used to go around a friend's house and watch it. It was Saved by the Bell.
Thank you. Yes.
Silence.
Fantastic.
Yeah. I've got to say, and you could have watched it on Channel 4 rather than just watching it on Trouble. But it was for me. Fancied Kelly massively in it.
Kelly Kapowski.
Yeah. See, do you know, for me, it was Zach. Even back then, it was Zach.
See, I was a proper crush. Like AC Slater.
No, I didn't.
He was big and muscly even back then.
Yeah, never liked AC Slater. But yeah, I used to. It wasn't particularly funny, if I remember rightly. I don't think it was ever. It was just really easy to watch. They did bring it back. They did have it with a new cast.
Oh no, that was good.
Oh, yeah. Was it good? I never watched it.
Well, they had two. Will you stop talking over me? Yeah, they had two. They had the college years.
Yes, that was all right.
Really good. But then they had the new class where they had Screech. The writers must have been in their writing room for ages because they thought, right, let's make a new character. Okay, he's a bit geeky. Okay, we're not going to call him Screech, but he's going to be a bit geeky. They called him Weasel.
I did like didn't Zach and Kelly get married in the college years?
Weasel.
Yes, they did.
They did.
Yeah.
And just for a spoiler here, they are doing an up-to-date one, which is coming on next year, and they've already filmed it.
Stop it.
With the original cast?
Zach, apparently, is the new principal.
Right, at number one is my... this is I really struggled for number one, and I've got honourable mentions.
I've got to change mine now.
Okay. So my number one favourite show from my childhood is Going Live and Live and Kicking.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
We don't do duvets.
Yeah.
If I had to ask you, if you had to choose between one or the other, like
Going Live.
One.
I would say Going Live.
Going Live. The original.
And what was the phone number?
0800
No. 0181811818181.
It was,
yeah.
And before it was 0181, it was 08181118181, and then it became 02088181.
There's a clip on YouTube, 5-star. Have you seen this?
I think, Darren, are you going to say the one about the phone call?
5-star, yeah.
Yes.
Where he launches into a tirade of abuse to 5-star.
Unbelievable. But I used to love the shows. They used to have Rugrats on it.
Yeah.
They had Spider-Man. And Andy Peters used to say, oh, that was so good. And X-Men. Remember X-Men on it? It was just a great...
Well, they also had... So it was Philip Schofield and Sarah Green.
Yeah.
Then it was Philip Schofield and Emma... So it was
Forbes.
Emma Forbes. That was so was it? It was Schofield, Sarah Green, Schofield, Emma Forbes, Andy Peters.
Andy Peters
right?
never did Going Live.
Did he do Live and Kicking? It was it was the same show. It was pretty much exactly the same.
But it was Live and Kicking was Jamie Theakston and Emma Forbes.
Was it? Perhaps I didn't watch that then. Perhaps I was Going Live more.
Jamie Theakston did the Live and Kicking, yeah.
Oh yeah, because you used to have Rugrats, you used to have DuckTales, woo, and you used to have, there's a new DuckTales out with a new theme tune, which is really good.
There is.
And you also used to have the raccoons.
Oh, Cheryl Sneer.
Yeah, I used to love the raccoons. So yeah, that's my. So I know you like 3 out of 5 of them. So that's
I've got to completely change mine.
Do you remember the two comedians that did very funny sarcastic sketches in Going Live?
Trevor and Simon.
Yeah, Trevor and Simon. We don't do duvets. So go on then. You requested this list. Tell us what your number 5 is.
Doesn't he get precious?
I'm more thinking of the timings, mate. To be honest, it's like 20 to 10. Get a move on.
Number 5. It was out in 1985. The toys sold out everywhere. The movie made me cry to the point where in the VHS they had to change it and tell you that he will return because of uproar.
1985.
There was good versus evil.
Was it Transformers?
It was Transformers, yes.
Yeah. I am Optimus Prime.
Transformers, for me, one of the best programs, and it was actually on during Wackaday.
You've not commented on my voice of Optimus Prime. Was it any good or not?
Terrible. No.
Autobots.
No. It needs to be more gravelly and deeper.
Because he's not going to turn around and go, right, okay, let's go and have a book and get out that hill.
What were your thoughts on the newer films of Transformers?
Fantastic.
Disappointed. I went in there and I felt angry.
What about Bumblebee? Have you watched Bumblebee?
With John Cena? No, I've heard
it's really good. It's probably the best of the new Transformer films. Really,
really good. Transformers films themselves were a pile of pack. Number 4 is based on a very old story. And the old story itself was very boring.
Heidi?
Boring. No. So what they did, they reinvented this story, and instead of having people, they had dogs.
Dogtanian.
That is the one.
That's on my. It's on my honourable mentions. Dogtanian and the three Muscounds.
Oh, Rolando for one.
Wasn't that
absolutely? But do you know what? If you look at an old clip now, I think it was dubbed.
It's French.
Yes, because the voices didn't go. And it was a bit like some of the characters, I haven't got this one down, were a bit like the Moomins. So they didn't have a mouth. They just had a snout.
It's one of those shows. If you look at a clip now, you realise how bad the animation was as well. It wasn't very well animated.
It wasn't. But that for me was a must-see show. So I'm going to put D'Artagnan at number 4.
Wasn't it? Wasn't it on throughout the whole of your childhood as well? It just seemed to go on forever.
Loads. Can you do a search on that? How long it ran for, please?
I can. Carry on.
Look at that. Okay. So you like that then, Darren?
Yes, except that. You've got a good 5 so far.
Thank you. Yeah, it's nothing like his with his
better than his.
Peter.
Yeah, blue ship.
And don't get me wrong, I like the fact that they did the Blue Peter appeals and all stuff like that, but God, it was boring.
Oh, actually, it wasn't French. So, D'Artagnan and the Three Muskehounds only ran for a year, from 1981 to 1982, and it's actually an anime series. It's actually Japanese. What? I never knew that.
I didn't know it was made in 1981.
That was on for like 10 years.
The series was produced. The series was produced in 1981 by Nippon Animations and MBS in Japan, and began airing in October of the same year. 1 year after it premiered, it was exported to Spain and other countries, broadcasting the first time in October 1982. It is currently available on Netflix. The series was dubbed in English by Inbound USA in 1985.
D'Artagnan on Netflix. But why?
So it was out in 1981, but it was broadcast on the BBC in 1985.
Can I just stop you all there? I don't often make notes, but Netflix D'Artagnan, I'm writing that down.
Yeah.
Also made by the same people that made Around the World with Williest Fogg.
You watched that as well. Boring.
Yeah, it is. It is a really, really boring show.
Yeah,
that's got Ian written all over it.
No, I didn't like it. Shut up. But yeah, it was an anime series.
And I bet on every day as well. After your little bit of, before Blue Peter, I can imagine him now sitting down. Mummy, John Craven's coming on. I've got to watch News Round.
I did used to watch News Rounds, actually.
If he was in charge of scheduling in the broom cupboard, it wouldn't be a hit.
Wouldn't.
No.
You turned into the No Antrobus, you have.
It's 26 episodes. That's all it ever was.
What did you call it, though? Because you called it a different name.
The actual name is D'Artagnan and the Three Muskehounds.
No,
it is.
Never Musterhound.
No, Musk Hounds. Muske Hounds. Anyway, sorry, Damien. Carry on. You're number 3.
No, it's okay. So I've had to change number 3 because I did have He-Man, but you chose that one. So I've changed my 1, 2. Something that gave me actual nightmares. Where I remember waking up.
I know what it is.
And I had a bit of wee. There was a bit of wee in my bed.
It was actually a nightmare, wasn't it?
No, but that was a great show.
Wow, yeah.
That was a great show.
Very clever.
Weren't it scary for the day, though?
And the presenter, I hated him.
With his black raven and coat.
Eyebrows.
Yeah.
Just to go back to Nightmare, how advanced was that back in the 80s, though?
It was very.
Do you remember it like, turn left? Oh, no, you're going to fall through the floor.
Oh, and then that skull, when they died and the skull broke. Was only 9, Freddy Krueger.
Yes.
Anyway, my number 3. Are we on number 3?
Yeah.
We are. Yeah. Oh. Mum-Ra.
Never heard of it.
No, that wasn't the programme, was it?
Right.
Mum-Ra was in it.
Oh.
Took his bandages off, did some sort of thing, went psycho, and...
Thundercats.
Yeah, so I was going to make myself sound really stupid then and say... Thundercats.
Yeah. Scary.
Thundercats.
Yeah, I used to love the logo. I always thought my dad's Vauxhall car was the Thundercats car because the logo was similar. Yeah,
like that. And I've got to say, Jatara, nice legs.
Oh yes, yeah.
My wife just rolled her eyes at me. She was a cartoon character.
They've also just made a film of that a few years ago, didn't they?
Yeah, they've done a new TV series as well. It's rubbing little Thundercats, tiny little things running. I've got a bag of crisps with a little Jeremy Beadle hand.
Thunder Pussycats.
Number 2, Damien.
Number two. Now, I don't think you two have heard of this one. I'm throwing it out there a bit. So I've actually Googled this to give you a bit more information.
Okay.
Okay, you ready? It ran from the 25th of September 1990 to the 28th of March 1995. It had a very scary baddie in it called Zordak. It had an amazing theme tune that made me cry. And it was in the magical land of dreams.
Oh.
I need something a bit more. Magical land of dreams.
Oh.
Yeah. It was actually called The Dreamstone.
Yes.
Never seen
yes,
it. Never heard of it.
Yes.
Great show. Great show. Great show.
Yeah, I'm playing it. Can you hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it.
I used to dream myself to somewhere else each night.
And that's all I can play.
I vaguely remember the theme tune, but I think I used to go, oh, it's that. Off.
It's not in the same league as Blue Peter, though. So it was something that ended on a cliffhanger, not with, see you next week, guys, when we'll be doing more of flipping pancakes. But yeah, Dreamstone.
One for all and all for one. Master hands are always ready. One for
See. Right, listen back to that. Hang on a minute. You were saying about the title. Ready?
one for all and all for one. Master hands are always ready.
Massacre Hounds. Carry on.
Okay. So number one, you nicked my number one, actually, Darren. Because Whack-A-Day.
Yeah.
Just to throw this out there, Darren, I don't know if you can remember this. Can you remember what took over from Whack-A-Day?
Was it? There were a couple
Bloody
of
awful.
Motormouth?
No.
No.
Now, thanks for that. I'll take that off then, shall I?
Was that your number one?
Was it number 73?
With Sandy Toksvik?
Yeah.
Well, that's changed it again now, haven't I?
So was it? What was it?
Well, it was going to be Motormouth / What's Up Doc, but I'll change that now.
Okay, go on then. What is it?
All right. Mine is going to be the classic, and I mentioned it a few weeks ago. All right. Let me just... Thank you. My wife has just passed me a note in real time there. Andy Peters was 50 today.
I know. I read that.
How is he ever 50? How is that even possible?
He doesn't look 50, he still looks 20 odd.
Well, he doesn't look it, Darren, because Luke doesn't exist, does it? Number one.
Yes, go.
Number one, animation, plasticine, brilliant, scary, but it wasn't.
I hated
it. And there was something down there.
Oh, yeah.
Trapdoor.
I thought you were going to say
Morph.
Mr. Morph, whatever his name is.
So I've got so Trapdoor, brilliant. It wasn't going to be my number one because Whack-A-Day was, but Trapdoor, they were little kind of plasties things. They had a skeleton and this trapdoor and there's something down there.
Burke.
Yeah, Burke. Going to throw some honourable mentions now. I know we're running tight for time, so I'm going to give you a couple. I just want to see reactions to this one. Here we go. Really quick, fire round. Bertha.
No.
It was a machine.
Yeah, another one. No.
Pigeon Street. Boo, boo, boo.
Yes, I remember that. I do remember that.
Yeah, remember that one. King Rolo, remember that?
No.
I remember that one.
No.
Jason and the Wheeled Warriors.
Yes.
No,
yes.
Remember that?
Yes.
Yeah. Benji and Benji.
Yeah. Was that a TV? Was that a cartoon?
It was on in the early morning, and there was like a bit of a sci-fi to it. But I'm going to do a Darren there. I've been all like, "Oh, puddle in." Don't know what it is.
Okay,
so go on then. You throw some more.
Darren,
quickly.
very, very quickly, your honourable mentions, please.
My honourable mentions. One was Banana Man, but you took that away from me. Do you remember You and Me? That was on a market stall with the two puppets.
I do. Yeah, that was. You
I don't remember that one.
Me and you, lots and lots.
Yes.
Right, very quickly, my honourable mentions are Fresh
Have
Prince
you ever?
Yeah, well,
Round the
yeah,
Twist.
Round the Twist. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Was that a kid's?
Yes, it is. It is a children's teen show. It is. Shut up, it is. Art Attack.
Oh.
Yeah, he's another one who's not aged.
Oh.
Inspector Gadget.
Brilliant.
Animaniacs.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, but that was on when I was about 26.
It wasn't, though. Honestly, it's older than you think. And finally, Dungeons and Dragons, the cartoon show.
Never saw that.
Did it ever end, Ian?
I don't know. And I don't think
that was.
I don't think anybody knows.
The little thing that was in it. The little thing.
There's one we haven't mentioned. Pink Windmill.
Say again.
Pink Windmill. Emu. Pink Windmill. Rod Hall. Grot bags.
No.
What?
No, sorry. You're rubbish. Just rubbish.
They was like a pink woman. Pink woman.
I can't believe you don't know the Pink Windmill. That's shocking.
So that was our top 5 for this week on the As Yet Unnamed podcast. Children's TV shows, mine are children's TV shows, whatever anybody says. Darren's was better than it has been for the last 2 weeks, but mine are children's TV shows. They are.
You see, maybe Darren, for us, because I feel like we've bonded on this, maybe we can go and feed the ducks together. Just you and I, take some bread, stale bread, just throw it to the ducks, because I think you're a great... Your choice there was great. I'm happy. We could in a sleeping bag and all watch TV together.
We could go and reminisce over those programs.
We could, because what we don't do is we don't turn around and go, "Oh, I'll compile a top 5 list of TV programs from my childhood." Oh, here we go. The Big Breakfast, pathetic.
Was from my childhood.
And then I'll do another one. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Was from my childhood.
Do a bit of research next week because we've got a brilliant top 5 and I'm going to announce it for you, okay? We're going to do the top 5 toys, okay? Ian, that's top 5 toys.
Not computer games or anything else. Toys you actually physically play with.
And if you bring anything that's something rabbit, I ain't doing the show anymore because it's perverted. All right?
I haven't got a rabbit one.
3 men close to a midlife crisis. 3 microphones. 1 Zoom call. All lead to this. It's the As Yet Unnamed podcast.
So there we are. We've made it through another episode of the As Yet Unnamed podcast. Darren, thank you very much. Enjoy your holiday in the Isle of Wight. Isle of Man?
Yeah. Isle of Wight.
Isle of Wight. Enjoy your holiday in the Isle of Wight. You're back again for the next podcast recording, which is good. Damien, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. And I've just got to say to you, I'm really excited about something. I'm really going to keep this very quick because I know we're going tonight or this morning. Something amazing is happening and I've never been excited. I'm more excited than Christmas Eve.
I know what it is.
What is it?
Tell me.
What?
Baby number 10 on the way.
All right, Bolton family. No. Right, in the morning, right, I'm going to go to my door and there's going to be something on my door.
What?
I'm starting a milkman.
Oh, you're getting a milkman?
Yeah, like proper milk in glass bottles. So someone's going to, and it's going to be there in the morning. So I'm going to get up and it's going to be there. It's going to be milk from a man or a woman.
Nobody cares. Really, nobody cares. Nobody at all. No, not interested. No, not interested. No. Right, thank you very much, Damien. Thank you. If you want to get in contact with us, you can do. It's the @As Yet Unnamed Pod on Twitter. @As Yet Unnamed Pod on Twitter. If you want to leave a message, then you can do by using the link in the show notes, and you can leave us a voicemail as well. You can go to the website dracottphotography.co.uk. I am on Twitter @IanHRP. Damien is @Damien Swift.
Every week.
You've got about 10 seconds, quickly.
It's Damien Lee Swift.
Damien Lee Swift, @Damien Lee Swift. Darren is on Twitter, but don't bother because he doesn't use it. He doesn't even know how to log into it. So thank you very much for listening to the As Yet Unnamed podcast. We are back again on Monday with an interview episode with Stefan Besant. And we'll be back again next Wednesday for more of the same. Until then, look after yourselves. Have a great week. Au revoir, s'il vous plaît, merci beaucoup. Goodbye.
This is the As Yet Unnamed podcast with Ian Barstow, Damien Lee, and Darren Antrobus.
Emma?
Where is he gone? He's either going to come back naked, which would be a really bad thing. What are you doing?
Oh no, my diary's all wet.
What does that say on there?
Oh.
Looks like I've had a bit of wee. Oh.